Happy Monday. Good morning, everyone.
Morning,
Hello.
Shane.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. Let me see
Morning.
who are online. Okay, we have a few people. We have Kevin, Sunny, Heidi, and Emily. I suggest that we give a few more minutes for people to join.
Sounds good.
Yeah, let me put on the chat window. Meanwhile, Sunny, do you mind to open the Etherpad?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Let's get started. We are here. Let me see. Yeah, because okay. Let's start with agenda. Bash. Ashay has training discussing. I don't know if Ashay is here. Let me ping him. So for me, I have agenda of OCP summit is coming, right? OCP summit is coming. I see that they have call for participation already sent. So we might start to discuss our side about workshop and the plan. Yeah, event. Then the second one is the event in China. I believe has finished last week. At the end of last week. Let me see if anyone from. Okay, no one from Ali has joined. Yeah. So just an update on that. Workshop. So then my question is for Sunny, is there any blogs, anything in the queue, in plan that, or any stories, user stories that we're looking at?
Yeah, great question. So at least on the event side, the most recent blog we had, it was a recap of one summit, a SONiC workshop at one summit. And for the China, which you can find here, I think this is the one we posted. Yeah. So but for the upcoming blog, I'm planning to reach out to Eddie for the China event recap, since he published a blog on that last year. And so that's, yeah, other than that, we don't have any upcoming blog. In terms of case study, we do have one with Supermicro that will be the draft will be done hopefully end of this month, end of June. So once it's available, I will let everyone know for sure.
Yeah, I think that's exciting. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Since Ashley is not here, anyone else has any agenda would like to put here? Okay, no. So let's go through the agenda now. Since Ashley is not here, then let's put the training to the end. Regarding the coming event of OCP Summit, I see that have everyone see that the call for participation from OCP?
Yeah, I think they just announced it, right?
Hmm?
It looks like they just sent the CFP. They sent it around
Yeah,
now.
I think CFP will end this month.
This month?
Yeah,
I need to
yeah.
check.
They
I have to
actually,
check.
yeah, they finish early. I think it's good because then the workshop, right? We have people always confused about the main track of OCP versus the workshop. Their selection finish early also give us a chance, right, to have all the other overflow to be reviewed by the workshop or by the SONiC community to see if anything we can take.
Yeah, I can give a quick update on the SONiC side. So I have gotten in touch with Kelly from the OCP Foundation. And we're working on the contract in terms of signing up again for a SONiC co-locate event at OCP Global Summit this year. And I think they're placing us on day one of OCP Global Summit in the afternoon, so it doesn't clash with their networking track and all the other major track that SONiC sessions might place that at the OCP Global Summit. So the event format will be very similar to this year in terms of SONiC participation. We'll have a SONiC booth at the event and a SONiC co-locate event. And also for folks who were at the co-locate event last year at OCP Global Summit, if I remember correctly, the room was really full. So this year we're actually bumping up the room capacity at just above 300 people. So hopefully we can accommodate more people at a workshop this year. And in terms of the call for participation, call for papers, and Emily, I'll probably work with you and on that very soon to set up a timeline so that we can kick off CFP for SONiC workshop at OCP Global Summit very soon.
Mm.
But we should
Can you
talk about the
please-
structure. Sorry, we should talk about the structure of the summit or the workshop this time around, like we had discussed last time, and have some sort of structure so we can address more topics instead of just being a more developer oriented.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Sunny, can you remind me, it's a half day or 1 day event?
It's a half day event.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it's again around 9 to 12 papers, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also we need to think about if we would like to have the hackathon like last year. It was quite interesting and a lot of great ideas from the hackathon last year.
Yeah, but one observation from I was a judge last year for the hackathon. And one observation I had is I would say like 70 to 80% of the submissions were clearly not done during the hackathon time period. So my view personally is while it's a great way to get industry engagement, especially for the engineering teams, for the various organizations who are looking to kind of expand their footprint, I'm not sure we may want to structure the hackathon a little bit differently if we do it, so that we actually, keep it fair. Like there's some of these projects, like one company submitted EVPN multi-homing as a hackathon project, and there's no way that's a 3-day project, right? So I would suggest if we do it, maybe we structure it differently, where we say, like, we maybe give it a common goal. So this is the problem we want to go achieve, and then we make it a competition that way. It's like, okay, hack towards that particular common goal, and let's look at all the different approaches to get there. Something to that effect, where it's a little bit more fair, I guess you could say. I mean, during the judging process, we eliminated quite a few just because of that. Just because of that clarity that we saw during the judging process.
If I may, I think I do agree. Multiple hackathon project seems like is at least multiple months is a giant program, is not like 3 days of the hackathon program. On the other side, I think that still many of the ideas surfaced was quite good. The issue that surfaced here, that the outcome and the program, the project was larger, I think could be like we could put a constraint or guidance there so that we can avoid this. However, how to avoid this, I think it's not the target, because we do want these ideas from industry, right? We want them to have explore new innovations in different ways instead of being limited by us. I do feel that we could have a way. We should have a way, and also should have a way to tell if this program is like has to be in the size of 2 to 3 days work, right? That so that it will be eligible and to win. So even though they can submit, and the areas that they would like to invest and to innovate, I feel that we can leave it to different teams to explore.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fair. I think the only concern is, like, it became, first of all, we had far too many hackathon submissions last time. I think the count was like almost 25 or 30. It was a lot, which makes the the process very, very challenging and very tiresome. Like, I'll be very honest, it was an exhausting day to sit there and listen to 4 to 6 hours of presentations and being able to focus on all the material, right? So I would suggest we reduce the number of groups, and maybe elongate the time if we want to drive real ideation, right? If the goal is to drive ideas, then 2 to 3 day event is not a way to really flesh out ideas. You can do it differently. You can structure it where you have an ideation period, and then those whose ideas are approved, they can get a week. And that way we can have a reduced number of teams to some extent. So we'll have a more fruitful discussion about really trying to drive change or improvements, enhancements into SONiC. Right? So I just think that we have to make this event valuable for all participants, not just like the guys who go first in the presentations, because they're the ones who get the freshest judge. Right. I'll tell you, I can tell you from my experience, if you look at the voting that we did and who ended up kind of getting the most attention within the judging process, it was those who kind of went first. And those at the end were at a disadvantage because they're just tired.
I think that one I do agree, it has a lot, right? It has a lot to go through, right? I cannot comment on the vote and who was being selected, was the early presentation or later. I think that is up to the judge, right? Who pay attention to that. And also who needs to do their work, right? The responsibility to pick the ones that they think the best. I have no comment on that. I do agree. We have a lot to go through, and the one optimization last time we already discussed is one company, right? One company that has no more than X number of submissions. That is could be the optimization. Ideally, I see it differently. I don't see that many debt submission is a bad thing, because we do have many organizations in the industry who are interested in that, who are interested in bring ideas. But of course, the work should limited to really fall into the domain of hackathon. Is not someone's like deliverables project for the whole year of multiple months. That I totally agree. And
So the
also,
other,
one company could have just up to X amount of X number of submissions. Yeah.
yeah, see, the other metric that I think would be very interesting to see, to evaluate, is we drove a lot of ideas. I totally agree, right? And I would be curious to see how many of those ideas resulted in pull requests and submissions or HLDs for this year. Because I would wager, and that too, like how many of those ideas that were, that generated pull requests for HLDs were from the original submitting company during the hackathon. So I'll give you that EVPN example again, right? So that was done by a company that's based out of China. They showed a productization, a version that they did. But if you look at who submitted the HLD in the industry, in the community, it was a different company. Right? It's something that we should just make sure that we're driving the most value out of. Like I like the idea. Don't get me wrong. It's a great idea. It's a great way to generate ideas. But I just want to make sure we get the best out of it. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, thanks. Any input from other people? Yeah, I think we are now discussing the solution, but I think at a high level we are discussing that like should we have hackathon or not, right? And of course the how to organize it will be improved year over year. Nothing can be done perfectly at one time. It's always iterate and improve from the last year or previous year's feedback. Yeah.
My vote is, we've set a precedent. We've done a hackathon for years at OCP, right? We've done hackathons at OCP for quite some time.
Two times.
Only 2 times?
Yeah.
Oh, I could have sworn we did it even before there were SONiC days outside. I guess maybe it was around the OCP timeframe.
Yeah,
but
that's
anyways,
not. Yeah, that's a different time. Yeah.
But I would imagine that people are expecting it, so I think we should do it. Right? Right.
Yeah, how to organize it better? There is big room to improve. Totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And also just from the number of submissions, like you mentioned, last year we had the most amount of submissions within the past 2 years. So we can definitely see a growing interest in the community, and the community is probably expecting it. So yeah, the hackathon, I will vote for having hackathon, but improve on the process for sure.
Right. Great. If anyone else would like to speak up, please do. If not, I think we will park it, right, to have a dedicated time to work on the process, how to structure it to be better. I think, yeah. But if you have experience or idea or would like to speak up, please do. Yeah. Okay.
OCP is when again? October?
Yeah. I think, give me a second. I'm searching the exact time.
It's the 16th. Something like that. Second or third week of October. Okay. And the India event is in September, correct?
Right. It's a little bit close, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what talks or what types of talks are being collected for the India event. Right. Just so we
So if you give me just a
before
minute, I can put the topics that have been submitted so far in the chat window.
yeah, it will be
Oh,
it would be
you are already able to see from the OCP side?
No. From the SONiC workshop in India. The reason why I'm asking is because they're so close together, we want to make sure we don't duplicate. Right. I know the submissions for India are ongoing. Like my team, for example, submitted a few. That's okay. We don't need to look at it now. Just it would be good to see
Yeah,
it
we
before we
don't.
decide on
Yeah.
before we conclude on the papers.
I do observe that not everyone, right, because of the travel constraint, not everyone in the India would be able to join the OCP in San Jose. So I would say that some overlap is I personally I won't say that is an issue because I see that there's a giant community, right, in India, and many of them are not attending OCP to take some of the topics and presentations to there. I feel it's okay because of the non-overlapping of audience. Yeah. But we can have Ashay here. I just pinged him. He is not able to join today's session. He will be able to join the next one. Yeah, I feel that ideally, yes, because of the two events are very close, that we should avoid like overlapping. But sometimes that because of the geolocation, right? That like a few important, well-received paper, even if it's repeated in India, I personally I feel it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because
probably
they are
not
not here. Yeah.
It's probably not that big of a deal. It's just maybe we
You're
should
right.
be aware.
Right.
So we can make the best call. Because
Yeah,
I think
you're right.
this year I expect, because the third year we're doing this at OCP, I agree with Sunny. I think this event will be way bigger than years past. And there'll be a lot of interest. And because travel is starting to open up a little bit, at least that's what I'm seeing. I expect there will be a lot more travel this year. I personally think this is going to be like the biggest OCP ever. So.
Okay, I just checked that OCP's summit call for presentation closed on June 21st. Do you mind to note it? Yeah, June 21st. Actually, it's only in a few weeks now. Okay, 3 weeks.
Interesting. You can clearly see there are two very specific themes within the submissions in India. AI and enterprise. Interesting.
Yeah. And announcement is notification. Sunny is July 15th.
I do want to quickly follow up on Kishore's feedback earlier on that we would want to add more structure to the agenda to the SONiC workshop at OCP Global Summit this year. I know, I think Kishore, you had a similar feedback when we were trying to announce SONiC workshop agenda last year.
Yeah.
And we, if I remember correctly, please correct me if I'm wrong, the reason we couldn't add more structure is because the CFP was structured in a way that the CFP submissions we didn't add like please select a track for your CFP and so on. And I think we received like over 100 call for proposals, speaking proposals. So which is why we couldn't implement that feedback. I'm wondering so if we want to add more structure to the CFP, then, well, want to do it as soon as possible before we kick off the CFP
Yeah,
submissions.
because in bigger picture, right? It's like, what is the message that the SONiC community is sending to industry? Something that we want to capture. Because again, this is the most visible event that SONiC will be will be participating in terms of industry presence. And if I view this like, if I take it like a business, for example, right? What's the message that I want to be giving to the industry for my product? It's the same thing here, right? Like, we should give some clarity on the various directions that SONiC is going to address the industry themes and trends that we see. Like, for example, if you look here clearly, India is kind of already going down that path. They're very clearly two themes. Like, one is AI, the other one is enterprise. I mean, it's pretty clear, actually. Right? So if we structure the talks around those two, or add whatever other themes we want, and we force the tracks that way, I think we'll have a more diverse set of presentations or submissions.
Just one quick thing to note, if we decide to go down the route of setting tracks, is that in terms of how CFP is structured for SONiC workshop at OCP Global Summit, how we did it last year was that the CFP for the OCP Global Summit main track, or the main event, the CFP judges send us the rejected CFP proposals, and then we add those proposals again to our own event CFP round, and then on top of that, we'll add more CFPs based on our own CFP timeline. So for that big chunk of proposals that were already submitted to OCP main event, they won't have any like main tracks that we decided for SONiC workshop and so on. So if we decide to again add track to our own CFP timeline, then we'll need to probably like either email to those like CFP submitters on what kind of track they want to add their own proposals in and so on. So there will be a bit of a hurdle on that, but we'll just need to think through how we want to approach it.
Right. I feel it will be a little bit harder to send our track to OCP to ask them to add to their CFP, because their main thing, right? They are open to software, hardware, and scenarios. And they have been sending it out for a while now. It's not at the very beginning, right? So to constrain from there is a little bit hard. We will, when we, I think there's a way to mitigate is when we select a paper, right? When we select a paper, we can form the themes. From the themes there. I think that last year, while we did attempt, right? We did attempt, Kishore drafted the how to structure it last time. However, at the end is less structured. I believe is because of we only have 8 to 9 presentations, right? We only have 8 to 9, and it's very hard to form a theme using such a small number. Like if we dedicated multiple to one topic, right? To one topic, it was a little bit hard to only focus on one area. And there are multiple areas of innovations, new hardware, new even user scenarios is spread between enterprise, campus network, and other data center network. I'm just brainstorming, nothing. There's a brainstorming ideas, right? We could continue to structure the SONiC CFP while we do have some control in terms of selections will how to form the theme to be more consolidated and concentrated around a few lesser themes instead of spread it everywhere. In the CFP, we can also guide them. About the area, for example, the the one area particularly interested is in anything related to latest hardware innovation on top SONiC on top of it, or AI. But I'm not going to just bring like I think we should spend more time on that instead of today. This is just throw out ideas to trigger feedbacks. So maybe Sunny, we could again take it offline to see how many can fit, how many talks can fit. This can also help us how to structure it.
Yeah.
Any
that's a great
other
idea.
thoughts? Yeah. So if I remember right, there are also student session, right? Submission.
What do you mean by that?
I think that call from academia to submit papers like posters OCP. Was my memory right?
I'm not so sure for the main event, but for workshop last year, we didn't have a specific CIP for academia.
Oh, then it was from the main event. It's a symposium.
Oh,
I
yeah,
see.
that
I'm
sounds about
checking.
right.
There's
Yeah.
still that future technology symposium. Yeah. Okay. And then it's organized by OCP. I think we will have nice handle how to structure it as there. Okay. It's open now. That a symposium. Yeah. Okay. Anything else on this topic? I think it's a great discussing. Thanks, Kishore, for the feedback. And let's all go back, right? Think about it. We will also call for like representative for other companies to remind them to come to the outreach committee to discuss this, so that we get better than last year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shid, sorry, it's been hard for me to attend this meeting due to conflicts, but today I found myself having time.
Right.
Normally
No
I don't get time.
worries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Shin,
you.
just a side topic. I had sent you a note in your email. I hope you received it. I would appreciate a response.
Oh, I do not. Let me check. Yeah.
Yeah.
Recent or before?
This is over the last couple of weeks. I think you've been very busy, so it may have been lost. But if you search for me, you'll find it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Take care, everyone. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. About IDC event. Okay. Close. Oh, CFP close June 15 is coming.
Were you asking about the India event?
Yeah.
Yes, it closes on June 15th. And the schedule will be announced on July 1st.
James on here. May I ask what is PENS program? PENS progress and future plans. PENS.
Let me
Yeah,
look
I
at
think
the description. Oh, sorry, you have an answer.
yeah. I think that's the new work group that recently just formed. It stands for, it's a part of the press release. Let me pull it up really quick. It's the Edge Computing Work Group.
Okay. Do you know who is leading that?
Yeah, I know some folks from Aviz is leading that. So this is the new Pence workshop, a work
I
group that
see.
was recently announced.
I see.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Cisco,
Yeah,
Celestica, and a few other companies.
perfect. Yeah, we do have pins before, so I was wondering, could
Yeah.
that be? Okay. Power over Ethernet. Okay. Okay, great. Oh, these are all the submissions, right?
Yes, that's correct.
This is submissions. Okay, registrations 73. Okay, that's going on well, seems like.
Mhm.
Okay. OSS EU. Okay. Then I have no more comments on this. Okay. How about the OSS EU?
I know we have a co-located event already scheduled and published on their event agenda or on their official website. But we haven't started the call for papers yet. So since that event is coming up pretty soon in September as well, similar timeline as the in-day event, we should start to work on the CIP timeline on that event. So
Right. Do you know the timeline? I think it's also in
yes.
September,
Yeah, so SONiC Mini
October
Summit
time.
is scheduled on September 19th, and the event is September 16th to 18th.
Oh, okay.
I can note
Okay.
here.
Do you know usually how many people attending that?
Great question. Do you by any chance know, Emily?
I will look it up, but I want to say it's around 2,000.
Yeah.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, anticipated 2024 attendance 2,000 on their sponsorship prospectus.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep.
Okay. So we might call for participation in the community. Yeah, the ones who close to EU, like maybe can take a leadership there to
Yeah.
help to amplify SONiC. Okay. Okay. If nothing that if no more, that we can move to the next two topics. The China event and the Japan event. I see the Japan event conclusion that I wonder, should we put on the blog, Sunny?
Yeah. I can ask the organizer and see if he's interested in drafting a blog on that.
Right.
I do think a short blog will help. The main thing is that
Yes.
all the event recordings are in Japanese. So yeah, the main purpose of the blog will probably just to inform the community members the
Right.
event went well.
Right.
But yeah.
I see. Okay, so main presentation is in Japanese. Could we still put them on our YouTube channel?
Yeah, those are actually already added in our YouTube channel.
I see. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Then how about the China one? I know the China one happened the last weekend. The recording might go to the other organization, the parent organization of the workshop.
Yeah, at least for last year, we the event organizer didn't provide the recordings for us. But I can ping Addie for it.
Right, right. I think if we could also post it on our channel, will be great.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all we have. Anything else?
The only other thing I can think of is that I think the next meeting is actually scheduled next Monday during the same time. Do we want to push that out for another week? But I do know we have a training. I would like to get a training discussion going as soon as possible. So what do everyone else think?
10th, right? I'm actually okay if we have a good agenda, that I'm okay to like to attend the next week. And yeah, let me see. Yeah, you're right. We have one. How about others?
Yeah, this is Heidi. So this meeting was postponed from last week, right? So we've got because it was a US holiday last Monday.
Yes, yes.
I think, Shin, to your point, like I think it's great if we just see if Ashe can come to have that training discussion.
Okay.
Because it is so important
Mhm.
to like kind of determine if, you know, and make sure that we're all okay with like having a beginner course on SONiC. So let's keep it, let's see if he can come, and we'll keep it if he can, and maybe just shorten it to a half an hour. And then we can resume the normal schedule afterwards.
Yeah. I think we also need to invite teams, right? Yeah, I just pinged him. He said it's okay next week. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think the next step is for Ashe to come to the outreach and talk about the training that the conversation we had with Tim. And then once the outreach committee is comfortable with the training, then we'll have another conversation with Tim. I'm not sure that Tim is needed in this in the next outreach.
Yeah. Yeah. I pinged him. He said okay.
Great. Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Let me grab this. Okay. Anything else? Cool. If not, then thanks everyone for your time. Returning 20 minutes back. Oh, returning
Thanks.
15. Okay.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.